everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the Savage Hawkman. Now, as you know, the Savage Hawkman was meant to be part of DC's New 52. Now, the first issue feels like the after effects of Brightest Day, and I do have a theory that, much like Green Lantern, much like Batman, this issue was originally meant to be part of the original continuity until the reboot was announced, causing the writers to have to alter the story. So the cover you have is Hawkman in his armor, getting ready for action with his mace-like weaponry. And the issue starts off how a car's driving, and someone says, "A man can only do so much. I never asked for it. I never asked for any of it. Sheer bad luck. Oh, just wrong place, wrong time. I don't know, it could have happened to anyone." Until the person gets out of the truck, and turns out it's meant to be Hawkman getting rid of his armor and stuff, and tries to burn it until something happens that mainly tries to get away from his truck, but the fire mainly engulfs on him, and this kind of feels a bit like the Phoenix Fall storyline. So we're introduced off the Bermuda coast, and we see people getting ready to bring a weird alien ship in, and they're like, "That's the rest of it, but it looks like a sunken shipwreck to my untainted eyes." It's a shrunken shipwreck, Albert. The king I'm most interested in, an alien shipwreck. And so they check the radiation and everything, and they even pretty much ask where Carr is, and he says he missed the last chopper. In fact, he hasn't answered his phone for a week. So Professor Siegler pretty much has them to call ashore and have Terrence get him over, and we're introduced to where Carter wakes up in his apartment and is pretty much seeing a broken window and him basically like badly burnt in that, and even looks at his hands and sees that the armor that he had was gone and wondered what happened to him. So mainly he hears a knock and Terrence is here, and Carter says, "Terrence, what's up? You tell me. We've been trying to get a hold of you since forever. Power's been out here. I should have checked in." And you can tell Terrence starts to ask like what happened here, but he points out it was a party and that he also needs to get to work. So you have basically Siegler and Carter getting ready, and Siegler introducing his daughter saying, "You remember my daughter, Emma, Mr. Holt?" "Of course. Nice to see you again, Emma." "Carter." And so they do some research on the alien ship and even find mummified remains and says some kind of alien mummy. And pretty much you can tell Carter starts to find this a bit suspicious and says, "We're taking a DNA sample right now. We'll know shortly indeed if this is a human being." And Carter says, "Could be an alien abduction victim. If that's the case, we may have stumbled upon a terrestrial trove of alien-human contact information." And you can tell Carter's right because they're messing with something they possibly don't know. One of the samples starts to go crazy, and yeah, this feels a bit like Venom in some way. And one of the scientists try to bang on the door, but it's jammed, and Carter has Terrence get Emma and her father out, and yeah, the creature looks exactly like Venom and tries to break free. So Carter has to use whatever he can to to get everyone out, but something happens where he ends up having his armor now and says, "You want a piece of this? Come and get it." And one of the creatures says, "You are not from this world." And he says, "Born and bred in the US of A." And turns out that you know, they sent something in him. And the creature Morphophis mainly tries to grab onto Carter, and something happens where he ends up becoming a kind of Hawkman-like hybrid, and says, "I must have it all." And this is the story. So, what do I think? Not too bad. I do have a theory this was part of the original timeline, and this isn't meant to be Carter Hill. Instead, it's meant to be based on the original Earth 1 concept of Carter Hall, who was from the planet Thanagar. In the later DC stories, you do see the actual Hawkman with his wife in one of the later DC stories during Rebirth. So I feel, yeah, it does feel like this was part of what was going to be the original continuity, as it did seem like this at the opening. So I think the story deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but really could have been better. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.